Hi, my name is Diet Cokehead and I take commissions for custom content. And that's why everybody gets an extra video. So my last influence thing, this dude, if you've been a regular for a while, you know that there's a guy that gives me money for long sleeve shirts. So you get like a long form video. I think that I'm gonna do long form long sleeve like every time this guy tips me. It's not a raunchy video or anything. Like the only thing that I do is put on a long sleeve shirt and then I just talk about whatever. The last time I did a video like this, I think that I talked about like why Beowulf are basically the Volkswagen people of literary world. But I didn't have anything special to talk about, so I was just gonna make a video about music that influenced me and how I started writing the way that I do. Ever since I was little, ever since I could read and write, I learned to read really early, and making stories was like all I ever wanted to do. Whenever I was really little, my dad got me into Bob Seger and Warren Zevon, and that was like my introduction into music. And Warren, like I still like Bob Seger still has like a special place, but I really like a lot of like classic rock, 70s, like dad music, and I hate metal. I hate metal. It hurts my ears. It just kind of sounds, I don't like loud music. I don't like whenever basses are like, it just like you can't even hear the music. It just hurts. I don't really like that. I don't like whenever I'm not like a big instrumental person, but if I like an instrumental piece, then I like it to be like Boards of Canada or like Perpetuum Mobile, that Penguin Cafe song. I really want to like Frank Zappa. I love that his band is made the Mothers, or that named the Mothers. I fucking love everything about his aesthetic. I love everything about like the way that he talks and presents himself. The only song of his that I can actually tolerate is Yellow Snow. And like I don't like his music. I like Frank Zappa, but I fucking hate his music. But I really think that I like a lot of his attitude. Like every time I read Run Across, like if there was something about Frank Zappa on VH1 or something, I always watch. Like I just love learning about Frank Zappa. I like weird figures like that, and I think that a lot of my personality and a lot of like my unapologetic like rawness and stuff, that actually like Gigi Allen, I think that he was just a fucking lunatic, but I fucking respect his like gimmick. I respect that, there's it was like it was completely marketing. Like Gigi Allen and the Sex Pistols and stuff spitting on people, like that's exactly the same thing as Miley Cyrus grinding on a pole. That's the exact same thing as like a 50 Cent fan buying a gun. Like people want accessories with their music, and alt people, we like to fancy ourselves above that, but we're not. Music is tribalism. I mean, this what music a bar plays, that's how you know where your people are, Like that's just like it's something that we've been using to signal who we are as people, and like everything that we do goes along with whatever music. I love singers who can't sing. I like Tom Waits. I like Wendy O. Williams. I like whenever voices have a lot of personality. Like I like Bon Scott, AC/DC, just because his voice is so fucking weird. Um, I've gone through phases of where I really like in junior high and stuff. I really liked AC/DC and stuff, but then like that cycled in and out of like being cool or not cool, and I remember being in phases in high school and stuff where I started to realize like all the music I liked was like Radiohead and super like pretentious stuff that you listen to show off to people, but it's actually the music that I liked. Um, I like Anya, and I know like it surprises people when I jam out to some Kid Rock songs, and but I think that if you have like guilty pleasures, it just means that you have a really, really, really low tolerance for guilt and like a low tolerance. I saw Tim Minchin say that guilty pleasures are for people with a low tolerance for guilt and a low tolerance for pleasure. I love why Yoni Wolf, Cloud Dead, all of his projects. I fucking love why Nirvana, Warren Zevon, Tori Amos. those were musicians that I would get like so like I would listen to nothing but them for months and months and months and months and months and months on end. I've been so focused on writing and making my own music and stuff, and it kind of takes me like all day long to complete like all of my little projects that I have going on. So I have a lot less time for looking up new influences than I used to. But in the past like 5 years, it took me forever to discover James, and I don't know why I didn't find out James until my 20s. Um, when I look at an artist, I try to see like if there's any artistry that's worth like Lady Gaga. Like she was fucking everywhere and like my knee jerk reaction to a top 40 musician is always like fuck mass produced bullshit. Yeah, I'm an alt kid in my heart of hearts, but then like I kind of have to override that to I love Lady Gaga. I like Madonna. I like a lot of like it's engineered to be pleasurable to listen to, you know? But the music industry is so fucked up that I don't really even look at artists as like I don't just look at their music, you know? Like I look at like how are they being marketed? Like what are they because that's the art of it. That's the like the producing somebody and marketing them to a mass of people like it's shady. It can get really fucked up, and it's an art form too, and you can DIY it yourself if you just obsessively look into everything. It's just like little stupid stuff like Alice Cooper threw a chicken into an audience that because he was from Detroit and he was like, I thought it was gonna fly. I wasn't trying to sacrifice a bird to an audience. But then like Frank Zappa called him the next day. He was like, fucking go with it. Tell everybody that you sacrificed that chicken. And it's just, like stuff like that. That like I think that that's fun and interesting and all part of the game too. The like on one hand I'm like fuck all the industry like they're pimps, you know, that's like the industry like the people at the top, the bookkeepers, the gatekeepers, they're just pimping out people. Like that's all. It's a very, 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 very high value escorting. My whole approach with my music is like leaning all the way in to my strengths because my strengths aren't studio polish. My strengths aren't going to be like money and my strengths are not going to be networking. But I do have like the raw bullshit Bob Dylan lyric raw down to the bone. Like Bob Dylan is obviously a huge like on my I have a short that I keep doing on one of my songs. I don't really name my songs. I don't it's that one where I said it on paper it looks better than the Ottomans. Um, where I tell everybody, I don't believe you, you're a liar. Somebody shouted out to Bob Dylan that he sold out or he betrayed everybody whenever he went electric because back in the 70s, like it was like whenever people transitioned to electric, that was a big deal and everybody was like, that's ruining music. That was electric was the autotune of Bob Dylan's time, you know? But when I look at anything that has any kind of like a cult fan base around it, anything that has kind of like a, and I mean, like whenever I look for influences, I don't just stop at music. I'm like, why does Rocky Horror Picture Show have a cult following that's dedicated to them like this? Like the Rocky Horror Picture Show cult following and the Pixies cult following, like there's something in that baseline that's clicking with people that they make a whole culture and a whole community or something around like this one thing, and I'm very fascinated about like why like the fuck I took this class in high school sociology like the yeah that's going on there. I love Guar. I love the Residents. I love Cher. I love anybody who makes it a show. And I'm not really like a big theatric or whatever in my music, but I think that I am in some ways that's like more subtle. Like in my head, the image of what I want to be is very bare boned. It's raw. It's very almost intimate. Like it's like this like raw Americana, American Gothic kind of like, just because like it's imitatable. It's easy for me to produce a lot of content within that kind of aesthetic. It gives me so much room to kind of like I'm thinking about integrating like my country songs only for my Willa Ella character. My like my that song that I did making fun of that guy that I was hooking up with, his erectile dysfunction, and like the I'm the fucking devil song and whatever. I want to like make Moxie Sting and like have Moxie Sting and Willa Ella and me all have like different, or even Broso, like have different like Depop shops and stuff. Like I want it to be fun. I want it to be interactive. I want it to be, I have a very specific vision that I'm like inching towards and halfway performing already. But when it comes to influences, I think the key, like whenever you're little or something, like whenever I was little, all I did was fucking copy the bands that I liked. All I fucking did was like for in my all the way up to my mid 20s probably, I was still like trying to be the people that I admired. And then after like in my later 20s and in my early 30s is whenever I really started analyzing and thinking about, because I got up until I never thought about taking my music seriously. I liked writing songs and I thought that I was just going to be making a little mental health channel. I never thought that my music was going to resonate with enough people. I never thought, because I knew that I was never going to be able to get myself like all polished. I knew that I was never, but people still, it clicked with a little group of people anyway. And I mean, I don't fucking need 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 fucking followers to come and tell me that my I have permission to make music whenever there are like 7 or 8 people telling me they wrote a song because they listened to one of mine. I don't think that anybody's going to listen to a band and being like, this is like how I'm going to create my own self. I think that what you need to do is kind of take a step back and not think about like looking at imitating and doing whatever. Like look at what you want to imitate. Like what are they doing that's resonating that you can put your own spin on. Like one of the biggest things that I started doing like whenever I really started pumping out songs and stuff was using classic timeless euphemisms like a rabbi and a priest going to a bar. The it's just like little stuff like that, but then like putting them in a context that makes it feel fresh. You're not going to have an idea that nobody's ever had before. You're not going to come up with something brand new. Everything that you see is a fan fiction remix of something that was already created back in the fucking like whenever fucking Roman people and shit did plays or whatever. Like everything is like there are 20 million movies that are the Divine Comedy. Like Oh Brother Where Art Thou is the Divine Comedy. Over the Garden Wall is the Divine Comedy. You just have to like completely redo it in a way that can't get you copyrighted. But yeah, I'll probably make a bunch of influence videos because like it's there are a lot of bands that I really admire. There are a lot of bands that I really want to talk about. There are a lot of just stay tuned. I'm rushing right now to get stuff out and get my platform back at least sounding like I want to sound. And then I'm gonna come back whenever I have a lot more time and my shit's together, and I'm going to make actual cool videos when I have time.